Good afternoon. It is my joy and my honor to be with you this afternoon to help co-create a field of love and beauty and intelligence that is beyond our bodies and our minds, to help co-create a field that is rich and real as gravity, a field that is real as electromagnetism, but a field of love, a field of harmony, a field of beauty, a field of joy. As you have come here today, you have said in a very powerful way that you're willing to create that field and to allow that field to begin to influence you more than the field that's happening in the world. The field of separation, doubt, worry, lack, limitation, not enoughness. That field is not going to penetrate you because you have come here today to be established in a field of so much unity and so much love that you will become impervious to the outside influences. Can you say yes to that? Can you say yes to that? Let me hear you say yes. 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 And so this field that's being created, we want to call attention to Rhythmville. We want to call attention to the Headmaster Sound. We're going to call attention to all of these beautiful people who made this happen. Will you shout and scream for them right now? Give Headmaster some love. That means applause. Yes. Yes. So I see the translation is about 10 seconds behind. It is my joy to be here with you and to help co-create this field of love and beauty and intelligence, and to be aware that this field of spirit, this field of life, this field of intelligence and joy, it's infinite life, and because it is infinite, it is too big to fit into any one religion. It is beyond religion. It is pre-religion. It is life itself. So we have come here to establish an intention to wake up to our glorious nature that's not bound by religion, but religion helps us get to this enlightened state. All religions help us get to this enlightened state, this awakening that's there inside of our being. Now, I can remember a number of years ago when I was landing in Washington, the state of Washington, to do a talk. And when I got off the airplane, I looked up and I was in this expanded awareness, though I didn't know it. And I actually thought that I knew everyone at the airport. I was wondering why all my friends were at the airport. And so I was walking around hugging strangers, giving five. Everybody thought I was strange. Got into the elevator and everyone was facing forward, looking at the numbers. And I turned around and started hugging people. And my friend Bill said, Michael, you don't know these people. You're having an experience. And I said, oh. Now that was a state of awakening in which the boundaries dissolved and I could see all the beings as emanations of light, and we were all one in this grand life, presence, beauty, joy. There was no separation. We are here to wake up to that state of awareness and to ground that state with our thought, our words, and our actions into our human incarnation. So there are three kinds of waking up. The first kind of waking up you all know about. When you go to sleep at night, you fall asleep, you have a dream, and then you wake up in the morning and you say, oh, I've slept all night. That's one stage of awakening. The second state of awakening happens when you have an awareness that you're not the body. Sometimes people get projected out of their body. They have a lucid dream, or they astral travel, or they have a near-death experience. And they look back and they can see their body, and they realize, oh, I'm not the body. That's a second state of awakening. First state is when you go to bed at night and you wake up. Second stage, you realize you're not the body. You have a body, but you're not the body. Your body is your instrument, just as you might have a car, but you're not your car. Your car is your instrument for mobility. And then there is this third stage of awakening. And the third stage is when the filters are removed and you begin to see and feel that you are at one with the life force. You're at one with the presence that is never an absence. You're at one with life itself. There's no separation. You are here because something within you wants to wake up, wants to become increasingly aware of this power, this presence, this love, this intelligence that is everywhere, and that by means of you wants to express itself more completely. You want to wake up. Do you want to wake up? Do you want to wake up? Are you here for the grand awakening? Somebody say yes. Somebody say, yes, I am. Somebody say, yes, I can. Somebody say, yes, I am willing. Somebody scream. Yes. Yes, we're getting into it now. And so this awakening takes us beyond religion. Religion is a boat that takes you to the island of enlightenment. Every religion with heart is a mode of transportation that takes you to the island of awakening through spiritual practices, prayer, meditation, forgiveness, selfless service. Every religion carries some of these dynamics so that you end up waking up and going beyond religion into having a direct encounter with the presence that is never an absence. So most religions are all good, except if they think they are the only ones that are good. So all religions are good, except if they think they're the only one. So we've come here today under the vibration of Rhythmville with awareness that we're seeking to wake up to that which inspired humanity to even develop religions. To wake up to our transcendent nature and to allow that to be the activity of our awareness so that we're guided and guarded and directed and inspired to live a magnificent life. A life full of promise and confidence. A life full of joy and prosperity and friendships and loving relationships. A life full of dynamic creativity. All of that comes from a direct encounter with the Spirit or the presence or life, the presence that is never an absence. Are you following what I'm saying? Are you catching this? Are you picking up what I'm vibrationally putting down? Yes? Okay, the translation is coming. Yes! And so we've all heard at some point that we are spiritually made in the image and in the likeness of God. Have you heard that? Yes. What does that mean? It doesn't mean you physically look like God. You can't look in the mirror and say, God is looking good today. God is formless, life formless, invisible. And so when we hear that we are the image and likeness of God, we're not talking about our physical bodies. We're talking about a soul faculty that we share with the presence. And that faculty is a faculty that allows us to think independent of circumstances. It allows us to think independent of conditions. It allows us to think separate from any situations you may be going through. In other words, you're here today in this rich field of love and beauty and music and generosity, and you might have some issues in your life. But for this period of time, you are not thinking about those issues. You are considering your life connected with the presence. You are thinking independent of a circumstance. Now that faculty that allows you to do that, that faculty is the image and likeness of God. We all have that faculty to be able to think independent of a circumstance and therefore begin to create just like the presence of God creates. Now, of course, this presence is not a man. This presence is not a woman. This presence is beyond gender. It is a presence of love and beauty and intelligence, life that's everywhere, omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient, everywhere present. The only presence, all-knowing. And so this presence is our real life. The sole faculty of being able to think independent of circumstances is the image and likeness of God, which means you get to create the way God creates. Now, how does God create? You go back to the beginning, before the beginning of time. Time is a mental construct that allows us to measure experience. It is not absolute. It is not real, meaning that it is not eternal. It is a mental construct. So before the beginning of time, presence, no time, timeless. This presence is everywhere. This presence is all-knowing. This presence is the only presence. It's infinite, meaning there is nothing outside of it. If something was outside of it, it wouldn't be infinite. Infinite presence. So out of an urge of enthusiasm, out of an urge of joy, an urge of orgasmic feeling, the Big Bang occurred. The presence created the cosmos. Within the cosmos are solar systems, galaxies, universes, living biology, every aspect of creation is created to perfectly reflect the order of the mind of God. You are here to perfectly reflect the cosmos in a way that has never happened before. That's what the universe is up to produce an individual that can perfectly reflect the cosmos in a way that has never happened before. So what does this mean? The presence created out of nothing. There was no pre-existing condition. There was nothing in existence. Out of nothing, cosmos. Out of nothing but a perfect idea and a feeling of joy and love and connectedness out of no thing. Cosmos, universe, solar systems, galaxies, living biology. You are the image and likeness of God, which means as you begin to think independent of circumstances. Remember, in the beginning, presence, no circumstances. So you are learning to bring your attention away from circumstances and out of nothing, no thing, but a perfect idea and a feeling of connection, you begin to create a new life. You begin to create wholeness, prosperity. You begin to create a life of joy and wellness and well-being out of nothing. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Are you getting this? Are you feeling this? Somebody shout yes. Somebody shout yes. 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 I think you're getting it. I want you to know how powerful you are. For oftentimes you define yourself based on external conditions, and you think those external conditions determine your destiny, determine your happiness or your success. Not so. What determines your success, your well-being, your prosperity, your love, is your awareness and the ability to think independent of a circumstance, just like God created the cosmos out of nothing. You get to create a whole new life, a brand new life, out of nothing but an idea. And so you begin, as I was looking at the screen and looking at my own words from Life is Good, you begin to have dominion over your awareness so that you're conscious that you're not a complainer. You're conscious that you're not a worrier. You're conscious that you're not holding resentment, animosity, unforgiveness. You become conscious so that the mind, which is a set of programs, you're not your mind, you have a mind. Just as you're not your body, you have a body. Your mind begins to be reprogrammed, not from the world, but from your own intention to be free. And you begin to create a new life by seeing with your inner eye, seeing with your inner awareness the life that you want to live. You begin to feel the joy and the harmony and the wholeness. Even before you can see it physically, you have this power to create just like God creates. Somebody say, yes, I can. Yes, I am willing. Yes, I am. Shout about it. Woo! Sometimes you got to get your body into it, you see. So let's go over what we've said so far. You are creating a field. Look around the room and look at the beautiful beings here. Just look around and release a smile and a silent prayer that everyone has happiness, everyone has joy, everyone has peace, everyone has love, everyone has prosperity. Just feel that from the depth of your being. Look around the room and just smile and give that blessing silently. Because there's always more than enough to go around. Love, peace, joy, wisdom, harmony, abundance are infinite. There's no scarcity in the multidimensional universe. And so when you wish somebody well, when you give it away, here's the law. You only get to keep what you give away. That is a sacred law of manifestation. You only keep what you give away. So when you're giving away this blessing that everyone has happiness and the joy and well-being, it has to come through you first. So from the beginning, we're creating a field. This field is making us impervious to the worry and the doubt and the fear that's running through the consciousness of the average being. We're becoming aware that religion is a boat that takes us to the island of enlightenment. And so we don't hold fast to the boat. We use the boat to get to the awakened state that is beyond religion. And we become aware of what the image and likeness of God means. That we're sharing a soul faculty of being able to think independent of a condition, to create just like God creates out of nothing. Now this should bring you a lot of joy, because most people think, I'll be happy or I'll be successful if and when these external conditions change. And so they live giving away their power to an external condition. Not you, not here, not now, no longer. You're taking your power back. You're becoming aware that you are the condition. You're the vibrational field. You're the frequency, the thought frequency of the very thing you want to manifest. So how do we do this? First of all, you begin to stretch your spiritual muscles in the feeling tone of gratitude. You begin to wake up every single day. This is what I do when I wake up in the morning. I wake up, and when I come out of the bed, when I put my foot on the ground, and I step up, and I just say, thank you for my life. I become very grateful and thankful that I exist. I enter into a field of gratitude before anything even happens during the day. I'm just grateful that I'm alive. And then I surrender to the presence that's never an absence. I just surrender to life. And then I say, what's my assignment for today? I ask for my assignment. Let's go back to gratitude. You begin to develop your spiritual muscles so that you're living in gratitude, and there's 3 levels of gratitude. The first level is that you begin to count your blessings. You begin to think about all the things that you're grateful for. You got a chance to be here. You can walk here. You can hear, perhaps. Perhaps you can speak. You begin to give thanks for what most people take for granted. There's an old statement: the enlightened give thanks for what most people take for granted. And so you begin to just give thanks for all the good in your life until there's a feeling of gratefulness that takes over your being. This feeling of gratitude creates a condition in you vibrationally that allows for the universe to begin to move through you and bring you glad surprises. Now let me ask you a question. Did your mother or father ever say to you, if you don't stop crying, I'm going to give you something to cry about? You ever heard that? Do you say that in your culture? Somebody's nodding yes. If you don't stop crying, I'm going to give you something to cry about. You ever heard that before? Yes? You can speak to me. Very good. Well, the universe says, if you don't stop being grateful, I'm going to give you something to be grateful for. You catch that? Yeah? So when you hang out in gratitude, the universe, the presence, through its universal laws, starts to bring more and more and more for you to be grateful for, because what? You're not in conditions, circumstances, or situations. You have lifted your frequency into gratitude. It's a practice. Second stage of gratitude. To be grateful for the challenges that come in your life. Now, this is heavy lifting. This is going into the spiritual weight room. This is doing intense asanas when you become grateful for challenges in your life. Because oftentimes people have a romantic idea about their life that one day I'm not going to have any more challenges. That's called boredom. I'm bored, I have no challenges. No, you're grateful for challenges because challenges activate your intrinsic nature. Challenges begin to open up gifts within you that aren't being used yet. And so whenever a challenge comes in your life, you're becoming aware that there's something about you that's about to be activated. There's a gift that's going to be cultivated. And so the next stage of gratitude is you're grateful for the challenges because you know hidden within that challenge is a blessing. The universe is progressive and it's coming to bless you. It's coming to give you more life. That's what a blessing is. A blessing is conferring more life upon you and more life through you. And so the second stage of gratitude is I become grateful for my challenges. So whenever a challenge happens, instead of saying, oh no, I don't want this to happen, I don't like what's going on, you say, I'm grateful for this challenge because I am about to grow. I'm grateful for this challenge because I'm about to cultivate a gift that's within me. I'm grateful for the challenge because more power is going to begin to move through me. I'm grateful, I'm grateful, I'm grateful. And the universe says, you keep on being grateful. You keep on being grateful, and I'm going to give you something to be grateful for. And then more good flows into your life that's unplanned. It's spontaneous. It's serendipitous. It's can you translate serendipitous? It's serendipity. It's spontaneous goodness. And then the third level of gratitude, it's a high state of gratitude. It's the highest state. It's when you're grateful for nothing at all. The gratitude is not based on a condition or a circumstance. You're just grateful. You just walk around being grateful. And people say, why are you grateful? Why are you smiling? I don't know. Just grateful. Just thankful. That becomes an attitude that allows that field that we were talking about earlier. You start to generate a field around you that protects you from the world. And the presence, through its universal law, then brings to you more good, doors opening, opportunities, possibilities that were there all along, but you couldn't see them because your vibration was too low. As you lift your vibration, you become a vibrational match for the blessings that are everywhere. Oh, I want you to understand something. That there is an eternal broadcast going on right now. Every bit of creation is screaming the light and the love and the beauty of the presence. I know this for sure. 1974, 75, I was in my last year of attending college at USC. I was a psychobiology major. My path at that time, my trajectory was med school. But I began to have a series of inner experiences that at the time I labeled pathological. I thought I was going crazy. Seeing visions, having lucid dreams, leaving my body. I remember one time coming home from school, and I was sitting in my living room, and I thought about my mother. And the next moment, I was in her kitchen watching her fry some chicken. She had a blue dress on. It shocked me. So I ended up back in my body at my house, and I called my mother on the phone, and I said, "Are you cooking chicken?" And she said, "Yes." I said, "Do you have on a blue dress?" She said, "Yes." So I knew I wasn't crazy, but I didn't know what this stuff was. So anyway, to make a long story short, these experiences intensified and intensified and intensified until in a lucid dream, I was stabbed in the heart. It was very, very painful, emotionally and physically. I screamed out and I died. When I woke up, I could see that we were surrounded by a presence of love and beauty and intelligence. The beauty was so profound that I can't even describe it, and the love so intense, it was as if the entire presence loved me, and it does, and it loves you the same way. And so when I say that there is an eternal broadcast, and everything, what I could see at that moment was animate and inanimate objects were glowing with the luminosity, and that every being is so precious. Every being is totally loved by this presence. So this broadcast is occurring. Everywhere is screaming the light and the love and the beauty and the joy and the intelligence and the abundance and the opulence and the order, the harmony, everywhere. And so when you're lifting your vibration, through prayer, through meditation, through the practice of your yoga, through your study, through your fellowship, you begin to have a vibrational match to the eternal broadcast that's happening everywhere, and your life changes. Right now, your mind may be on radio station worry. It might be on radio station doubt, fear, lack. But as you come into those stages of gratitude, thanksgiving, you start to change the station. And you start to catch the broadcast of possibility. You go from worry, being a worrier, to being a spiritual warrior. Breaking down the boundaries within yourself that separates you from the presence. And so you're here not to beg or plead an external, reluctant deity to give you a blessing. You are here to lift your vibration, to receive the blessings that are always being given. This presence doesn't have any withhold in it at all. It doesn't withhold itself. The presence is in a continual state of giving, shining, radiating its glory. This is what I saw. And this is what I get to see. And what are we doing? We're growing in our graciousness to be able to receive that which is eternally being given. Are you picking up what I'm vibrationally putting down? Yeah, all right. Let me hear you say, yes, I am. Yes, I can. Yes, I am willing. You picking it up? All right. Somebody shout about it. Woo! Life is good. Life is magnificent. And so you are here consciously participating in your own unfoldment. And so, 3 stages of gratitude. Then there's an awareness that you are awareness. We use the word consciousness a lot. But sometimes we need to just break down what that means. Consciousness, capital C, God consciousness. You are an avenue of awareness. And you are cleaning up your filters so that you can see more clearly that which is real. Humanity suffers from the inability to see reality. Humanity only sees and experiences their thoughts about reality, but do not necessarily have a direct contact with reality because their stinking thinking is in the way. I'll let that translate.